Hey guys, this is Nefarious411 with episode 2 of my Monster Feed the Beast server play series. On the server today we have Patrick.
Hello.
He's currently working on his base, and I believe it's about 400 blocks away from mine. He went south of spawn, and we'll probably visit him later in this episode. Last episode we established the base, um, created a little bit of a farm here, and gathered a little bit of supplies for the smeltery. I wasn't able to, on camera, find any clay, but after some long searching, I was able to find some clay and created the grout needed. And I went ahead and prepared for this episode by smelting it up. And now I have 2 stacks of seared bricks. Hopefully that's good enough for us to get started. And as you can see from this chest, I also have done a little bit of resource gathering. Most of the gathering that I did between last episode and now was more of an exploration of the cave systems below my house. These caves are pretty large, and I've gotten lost a few times, and I still haven't found any diamonds. As you can see, I've dug pretty far down into these caves. So hopefully maybe I can find some diamonds today. But to get started, try not to get blown up by a creeper on the way out. Um, I'm going to go ahead and cut, and whenever I come back, I'll have everything ready to start building the smeltery. I'll be right back. One of the things that you may have noticed in my base, I cleared it out quite a bit, make it a little bit more comfortable to move around without having to jump up all of these different blocks. And I created a storage room over here. I'll fill this out with chests for the time being until I determine which system or which mod I want to use for the storage mechanism and sorting. And I also cleared out this room, and this is where I'm going to create my Tinkers Construct Smeltery. I grabbed all of the resources that I needed. I have some glass so that I can create the seared window, but I'm pretty sure that I can do this with just the 2 stacks. And of course, with the Tinkers Construct Smeltery, there's no, as far as I'm understanding, there's no limit to how tall the smeltery can be. So each layer will give you 9 additional slots, as you will be able to see here in a couple of minutes. So the first thing that I'm going to do, because the smeltery needs to be a base of 3x3 or 9 blocks, we'll need at least that many blocks to get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and create the 16 blocks here. That's probably good enough because I'll need them for the sides as well. And you just lay them down in this fashion. And then the next layer is offset by 1. So this is going to be a little bit further out. Alright. So the next thing that I want to do is create a controller. And the controller is basically where you put all of your ores whenever you want to throw them into the smeltery. So I'm going to place that right there. And as you notice, since it's not completed all the way around this ring, there's a zombie outside my door interrupting. The smeltery controller is not on. Let me take care of this guy real quick. And as I've been doing mostly mining, I haven't really bothered with creating any kind of weapons. I'm going to create some weapons with the Tinkers Construct Smeltery after I get that completed. Alright, so the next thing that I need is the seared window, I believe. There it is, and that's just 6 of the seared bricks with glass in the middle. And that's all I need is just the 1. It's apparently nighttime outside, so I'm going to sleep real quick. See if some of these zombies will burn up. Alright. Well, looks like they're not going to go away. So I'm going to go take care of those real fast, and I'll be right back. Alright, I took care of the zombies outside the door, so hopefully we can get a little bit more accomplished before any more interruptions. So I'm going to just create the last couple of bricks. How many did I need? 1, 2, 3. So I need 3 more. I'm not going to bother with any seared windows, but in the whenever I add extra layers, oops, I misplaced that, I will be able to create at least one of the walls with glass so you can see what's in it. Alright, so now that I've placed the last block, you can see how the smeltery controller has fire coming out of it. That just means that it's ready to go. So as you can see, we have 9 slots available, and every layer of seared bricks in this smeltery, it'll give you 9 additional slots. So right now I can only smelt up to 9 items at a time, but we need additional things. So if we were to put iron in here, we can't get it out. So the next thing that we need is a drain. If I can remember how to create it. Alright, so there's the drain. I want to start out with 2 of these. Alright, and then I may not have enough seared bricks. I will probably create those off camera, but for the time being I need a casting table and a casting basin. So with the casting table, this will allow you to cast the molten metals into different shapes, such as the sword blades, the pickaxe head, things like that. And with the casting basin, it'll basically just dump about 9 ingots worth or 1 clear glass worth, and we'll see all of that at a different time. But we also need 2 of these. These are seared faucets. You don't have to use these if you were to use some automation with liquid ducts, fluid ducts, but since this is just the start, I'm just going to use these seared faucets. Allows you to right click on them and it will be able to dump the contents into the casting basin or the table. So since I'm running low on these seared bricks, one thing that I can do, I can just plop this down 1 level, just on this one side, and I'll be able to grab more of the seared bricks later. And I am out of wood, so let me grab some wood, create another quick pickaxe. Hopefully this will be the last of these kinds of tools that I'll need, because once I get some of my patterns going, then I'm going to create some of the better tools. It's not going to be that great at first. It's not going to be until we run into the nether and get some of the better ores, but I'm going to start out with just complete iron tools and not even worry about it. Alright, there's 1, 2. Place my table down, place my basin down, and my 2 faucets. And we're set. Alright, so now this doesn't operate without fuel. Unlike furnaces, this doesn't take coal, it does take lava. Fortunately, I have found many lava pools down in the bottom of the caves, so I should be able just to grab a bucket and run down there. But before I do that, let me see if I can create one of these tanks. They're called portable tanks, and that will allow me, at least with this one, carry 8 buckets worth of fluid. That will reduce the amount of times that I have to run down into the caves. So this is just a copper ingot with 4 glass around it. I think I can do that. I believe I have at least 1 copper that I found in a chest. There it is. And I have my glass on me, so this will make it a little bit easier. There we go. And now I need a bucket. I may or may not have a bucket right now. It doesn't look like it. I have, oh, that's electrical steel. That looks a lot like iron ingots. That's going to confuse me later. So until we get ore doubling, I've been trying to not smelt any of my ores because I did not want to waste any of them. So here, unfortunately, I do have to smelt at least 3 of these iron. I could have gone with a grinder, but I'm a little impatient. And I'm not sure if the grinder is actually in here. I think that's applied energistics. Could be wrong. Oh well. Alright, so let's create a bucket. And there it is. And let's run down to the cave. I'll be back. Alright, I went down into the caves to grab some lava. I did not use the portable tank because as I was down there I realized that I needed what's called a crescent hammer to pick it up. If you were to break it with your pickaxe, I do not believe it will retain the contents. Rather than taking that chance, I'm going to wait until I can create one of those crescent hammers. 1 bucket of lava should work for me right now, and it should be enough to get the materials for this crescent hammer, which is just 3 iron and 1 tin. So let's go ahead and try this out now that I have a bucket of lava in there. And because of the fact that the ores double, each one of these will really be 2 iron ingots that are produced from this. So I want a tin. Fortunately, I have 1 tin, but that'll give me 2 ingots. So let me go ahead and throw these into the furnace, or in the smeltery, and this will produce what I need. Well, let me change that a little bit. I do not have an ingot cast. In order to get ingots, you have to have a cast. So let me get all of the stuff necessary to do the next step. Alright, I'm back. The things that I forgot to do were the Tinkers Construct templates and the ingot cast and all of that. So let's go ahead and create that. All of the templates, I do not have enough wood, are basically just sticks and planks, so that's going to be pretty easy. So let me go ahead and create that. You can see that this creates blank patterns, and you use the blank patterns in a pattern table, right? Let me just look at Tinker's Construct, Tool Station, Stencil Table, there it is. So that's just a blank pattern on top of a piece of wood. Okay, let me grab some more wood. I cut down a great wood tree earlier because they produce a lot of wood. Alright, so let me create a tool station that requires a crafting table. So I'll grab one of those with one of these blank patterns. And I know the last one is a log, and that's the part builder. Let me just bring these into the corner here. Doesn't really matter right now. I'll reorganize later. Alright, stencil table. Put my patterns in there, and you can see that we can go through all of the different stencils that are available. Each one of these are going to be used in the tool station after you construct the parts. And then you just put the individual parts based upon what the recipe is in this tool station. So the first thing that I need, in order to get these out, these metals out in ingot form, I have 2 tin, 6 iron. We need to create some aluminum brass. Fortunately, I do have an ingot in here that I can use as my mold, and otherwise I would have to um, smelt another iron or something. But I believe, if I remember right, I don't have the books on me, but the aluminum brass is 1 copper and 3 aluminum. But remember, because these are in the ore form, it's going to produce twice the amount, which is good because we're going to need quite a bit of this aluminum brass moving forward. So I'm going to wait until this cooks up and I'll be back. All of that is smelted up and we have 8 ingots of aluminum brass. So I am going to place this steel here, and it doesn't look like this one is going to work, probably because it's might be an incompatible mod. Yeah, that is not working for me. Let me just, okay, so it does work in this position, but this ingot doesn't work. So what I'm going to have to do is smelt up 1 ingot so that I can pour this. Or I might be able to use this copper. Fortunately, we have another ingot here we can try.
If you
And
have seared bricks left, you can use those.
oh, can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't even think of that. So seared bricks, as Patrick said, you can use those as your base for the ingot cast. All right, the copper one worked. So now I have this, and this will allow me to pour the molten metal into ingot form. So let me go ahead and grab the 3 iron and 1 tin needed to create the crescent hammer. Alright, I have all of those ingots that I need to create the crescent hammer. So let me run over to the table here, create this crescent hammer. And this will be useful for many things in the future as well, but right now we'll just use it for the portable tank. So as soon as I get down there with some lava, I'll be back. This is at the very bottom of where I dug. So this is probably good source as any until I can make it to the nether to grab lava. So I'm just going to put that there and start filling it up with my bucket. And as you can see, it has 3 buckets worth in there. So now, without having to hold 8 buckets of lava and take up the inventory spots, I should be able just to grab this. But I'm going to bring the extra one just because I can. So to pick up the portable tank, you just shift right click and you're good to go. So one thing that I noticed in the cave system that I have, there are these Tinkers Construct berry bushes. So I am actually going to grab those and replant them closer to my home, because these little things, if you can see, they have concentrated essence berries that apparently taste like creeper, and you just eat them and it adds XP. So those are good to grab every time you see them. And I did not bring a pickaxe, so I cannot break that block. Alright, so I made it back up to the surface. I don't have any fluid pipes right now, or fluid ducts, so I will just manually move the lava in as necessary. And I think that's full. Yep. Alright, so you can see that I have ingots still in the smeltery. You do have to be careful though, because as you noticed with the copper and aluminum, they combine. So if you don't want something to combine, pay attention to what molten metals you have in your smeltery before putting more ores or ingots in. Now that we have the basic structure for being able to build some of these tools, let's go ahead and build at least a hammer, because I like the Tinkers Construct hammer, because whenever you hit stone or ores, it will do a 3x3 chunk out of the wall. So the first thing that we need to do for that is to take a look at the tool station. And the hammer is not there, so we might have to just start with a pickaxe. And we can upgrade the tool station to, I believe it's a tool forge right there. And that does take a lot of iron, so that might have to wait until a later date. So let's just go ahead and create one of these pickaxes. So we need 3 parts: a pickaxe head, a tool binding, and a handle. So let's come over here to the stencil table and find the pickaxe head. There it is. The tool binding right there, and a tool handle. Alright, so this is a tool rod. It's the same thing. For some reason, the parts don't actually match up with the pattern on this. It goes up and down even though the tool rod goes diagonally. So let's go ahead and grab one of those. And in order to do these, we first have to create them with stone or some other soft material that you can use with these wooden patterns in the part builder. But we will throw these away as soon as we don't need them anymore. So that one, and the last one is this. And we actually don't need these shards, but I will keep them for now. So now, just as we did with the ingot, we will be able to cast this aluminum brass, which we still have 7 ingots worth, and make a mold for each one of these. So let's do those real quick. Alright, last one. And all these binding casts do is allow you to pour like more hot metals and stuff like that in. You can't use the metals or ores in the part builder, so these have to be used for casting. So since I'm just going to make something real simple just to get us by, I'm going to do all of my stuff in iron. So let me go ahead and cast that and throw a couple more iron ore into the smeltery so that we can get some more cooked up, because I believe this is going to take the handle and the binding are both half ingot, so that's 1 ingot, and this head is 1 ingot, so we should be good. So I have the iron binding, I have the pickaxe head, and all we need left is the handle. Alright, there we go. And come over here to the tool station and shift click that in, or not. And here we go. We have our first pickaxe from Tinkers Construct. And here, I could have named it, I think I still can name it, Irony. And now, whenever maybe it won't work. So you should probably name it before you take it out. Otherwise,
When you're modifying the tools, you can also name it as well.
Okay. And as Patrick said, you can modify the tools. Add redstone will make you mine faster. Lapis will give you luck, and all of that. And I will cover that at a later time. So for now, I think we have a good start because we have a new tool. So I should be able to mine. It's going to be about the same speed as a normal iron pickaxe until we put some modifiers on it. we won't really see any difference between them. But the largest difference between this and the normal vanilla tools is that whenever it breaks, it doesn't actually disappear from your inventory. It becomes unusable until you fix it, but all you have to do is come back over to the tool station, throw it in there, and drop an iron in it. Let's see, I do not have any iron on me right now. So let me switch over to the iron, grab an ingot, come back over here to the tool station, throw it in there, and you can see that it will repair. Since I only used it for like a couple of blocks, I am not going to repair it at this time and use up an entire ingot. So rather than having all of these patterns clutter up chests and stuff, one of the things that you can build with Tinkers is a pattern chest. And that is just taking a normal chest and putting a blank pattern on top of it. And I need more planks. So let me create blank pattern, put one of those on top of the chest, and now we have a pattern chest. And the only things that can be put into a pattern chest are patterns. One nice thing though, before I get too far, let me go ahead and move that. With the part builder, it has the nice benefit of looking at the pattern chest if it's adjacent to the part builder. So those are really good to have right next to each other. So I'm going to throw all of my patterns, even the old wood ones, because I might need them later for things such as cactus handles or paper bindings or anything like that. Alright, so we are good to go. It sounds like we have another visitor, so I believe the next thing that... Let me kill him. I think the next thing that I need to do is create some weapons. So maybe in the next episode, because I believe that we're running low on time right now, we will create some new weapons. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back, and I decided to make a trip over to Patrick's base. If we take a look at the mini-map, zoom out a little bit, my base is right here, and we're all the way over here with spawn being close to the middle, so it's not terrible distance, but it's somewhat of a trek whenever you're unprepared with weapons or any kind of armor. But let's go ahead and take a look around. And there's Patrick. So what you got going on in here?
Basically, with my base, I have I suppose, a mountain-style side base. And basically what I'm using is the factory blocks to outline the base itself. And then filling it in with clear gas eventually, and probably replacing the whole side of the mountain with clear glass. I mean, not the whole side of the mountain, but where my house is.
So the factory blocks, those are with the chisel mod?
Yes. The chisel mod is a very unique mod, and it actually generates a lot of fancy blocks.
So these are
But
mainly for like decoration. It doesn't have any kind of usage.
yeah,
Okay.
pure aesthetic
So
blocks.
so how do you create the rusty looking ones that you have? What material is that?
Um, this is a normal factory block, but you use the chisel block from a different type of factory block, and that is made from 4 iron and different various other stone that you can use. The most common one would be shale.
Okay.
So you'd have to mine shale, get shale cobblestone, and then smelt that. Or have a silk touch pickaxe.
So that's pretty nice that you get half a stack just by
Hmm.
4 ingots and 4 stone.
In my opinion, it's very OP.
Well, I mean, it's decoration, if decorations can be overpowered.
True.
So you have a little trail that goes up this mountain. So how big is this mountain?
I think it goes up to like half world height.
So I'm probably not even halfway, and I'm up to Y of 127. So this is the nice thing about the ATG world generation, or alternate terrain generation, that you get some of these massive mountains. And the higher the mountain is, it's a little bit more realistic by having snow caps. So you have a very large snow cap on top of your mountain.
Mm-hmm. My plan is, if it's not going up to world height, what I'm probably going to do is have a series of, I'm going to say Mine Factory Reloaded. Their elevators.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's from them.
You're not talking about like the extra utilities elevators, are you?
Yeah, those. I
Open
know,
open blocks, right?
There we go. The elevators from Open Blocks to go all the way to the top, where it'll be a server, probably a server-wide Thaumcraft area.
Nice. And that's something that I would like to start out with sometime in the near future. Maybe whenever we're both on the server and we start working on like the shared workshop, we can do some of the larger Thaumcraft related stuff in the spawn area.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a plan.
So this is 230 blocks. Nice.
So we're just 26 blocks away from world height.
Right. That is very cool. Well, I need to run back to my base because I am getting really hungry. So thanks for showing your base to us, and we'll definitely stop by a few times throughout the series and see how it's coming along.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Alright guys, it looks like we've hit that wrapping up point. We're about 30 minutes into the video. We were able to get the Tinkers Construct Smeltery working, created our very first tool with the forge. So next time, I think we'll go ahead and upgrade this tool station into a tool forge so that we can get some of the better tools. And we'll probably go ahead and try to get some of the alumite, which is with Tinker's Construct, and that will be needed to get some of the ores such as cobalt and ardite that are in the nether. And that will allow us to create even better tools. And I want to get those tools before adding any modifiers such as the redstone or lapis. And I want to thank you for watching, and if you could hit the like button, it'll help me out. And also, if you like the series, be sure to subscribe, leave comments in the section below, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.